Hello and welcome to Emma's Crafty Space. Thank you for joining me today for another tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to make this project. It is actually cased from another Stampin' Up demonstrator in America, and I think her channel is Stampin' Slingers. I'll tag her in the video so that if you ever want to hop on and see the original tutorial, you can do that quite easily. Now I changed the project a little in that she had this as a triangle front, whereas I have made the flap just more, I suppose, like a handbag or an envelope closure. And my one is held with a little magnet. So you can see how it opens up. Now if you're someone who likes to write a lot on cards, you could then do a matte layer on here. But for this project I've just done one here, and then I finished it off with the magnolia stamp and coloured it in using our Stampin' Blends. So you can see it just folds up, and then the little magnet closure keeps it nice and tightly closed, and you're not having to worry about damaging the card by using Velcro dots. And then to finish it, I used the Label Me Pretty and Label Me Fancy punches. And if I hold it up to the camera, you can just see that there's champagne rhinestones on there too. So this is the one we're going to make today using the Bird Ballad suite. This is probably one of my favourite DSPs, although unfortunately it is now unavailable, and you might be able to pick it up if anyone's willing to part with it. So I'll just open this up so you can see what it's like. And again, we've used the Stampin' Blend, so I'm going to show you maybe a little technique using these blends as well later on in the video. So I'm going to start with giving you the measurements of the base and that. So your base card is 5 7/8 by 11 inches. Then you score your long side at 2 5/8 and 6 7/8. Okay. Then your matting layers. This is the inside one. So your Petal Pink is 5 5/8 by 4, and then your white is 5 1/4 by 3 5/8. I've already stuck those just to speed me up a wee bit. Then, so this is your front mat. So this front mat is 5 5/8 by 3 3/4 for your Petal Pink, and then your DSP is 5 1/2 by 3 5/8. And then this little layer here, which is these ones, it is 5 5/8 by 2 1/2 for your Petal Pink, and 5 1/2 by 2 3/8 for your DSP. Now I corner rounded mine as well, so you can just see here, and it's just to just give it a more softer edge on it. So we will start getting these layered up. So if you can imagine, that is coming in on itself like that. So this is going to be your front flap. And you can see it doesn't quite meet here, and that is just so that you can get that closed over and there's no the card isn't getting squashed or anything. So I'm just going to round my corners now, so I forget. And then round these ones, move that out of the way. Okay, make sure you're doing this in the right direction, just because this paper is directional. Okay, so I'm going to stick these all on together so I'm not getting them mixed up. So I'm just going to stick this on the snail. And it's the same with this one. Okay, and just give that a good press down. Now before we attach this to our envelope section, I'm just going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on the front here, and we'll attach our ribbon. Okay, so I am using this ribbon, which is from the Perennial Essence suite, but it's Petal Pink, so I thought it would tie in nicely. So you just kind of have, if you want to, you can measure this out and find out exactly where the middle of the card is. But I'm happy enough just to use my eye. So just fold that around there once you're happy with the position of it. Okay, and the tape will hold that in place. So now you're ready, you can stick that onto the front of your card. So I'm going to use glue for this, just with it being card on card. Try not to let it splodge out all at once. Just stick this down. So I'm sure you can start to see this taking shape now. Just try and get that into the center. You know, you've got the same. Don't worry if there's a bigger gap at the top, because that is actually covered whenever you put your flap down. But as long as you've got a nice even border on both sides here and a wee bit on the bottom too. Okay, so the same with the top piece. Now if you want to lay this down and try and like figure out where your ribbon so that they're all gonna go in a line. So I'm just gonna put my tape on the back before I do that. So if you lay this down and just make sure that this is all running down in lines here. And then if you just set that down on top and hold it in place with this finger. And then you can peel this with your free hand and just wrap that. And then just do the base, or the bottom, sorry. And just let that guide itself down so you're getting it straight. And again, now you can glue that down too. Again, glue because wet glue, because we're doing card on card. I'll just make it a little bit more secure. Okay. So you can really see it's starting to take shape now. And once you've done all your cutting, it is a very quick and easy project. Okay, so I'm running off a little bit, but not too much. But you're going to have a tag there, or a topper. So that will sort that little adjustment out. And again, then we're going to glue our inside in. And again, just try and get it in the center. Now I have given my Whisper White a bigger border of Petal Pink, just to make it kind of pop out. So now what you need to do is you need to place your magnets, and I have my magnet stuck to my scissors so that I don't lose them. I'm just going to put that one on the end of my scissors so that it's easier for me to place. I personally think it's easier to use super glue for magnets. You can try glue dots, but I do definitely prefer super glue. And I'm just going to fold this down and try and eyeball where I think I'm going to position my magnet. So about here. So a little tiny bit of the super glue on the magnet. And then just lift that ribbon and place the magnet. And just let it sit for a minute or two. And then what I will do is I'm going to set that magnet on the top. You see it just completely attracts to it straight away. These little neodymium magnets are very strong. Okay, make sure you cap your super glue as well, because it dries out very quick. Okay, and just let that come over to meet it. So just hold that for a few minutes. And you see then that your magnet is perfectly placed just to hold that. So the next step is you are going to make your tag. So as I said, I'm using the Label Me Lovely and Label Me Pretty. And the sentiment I'm going to use is from Free as a Bird. And it is, your friendship means the world to me. It means then that your card can be quite generic. You know, you can then put your sentiment, if you're wishing them happy birthday or best wishes or good luck or missing you, you know, you can put that in the center, but the front one can be quite generic by just putting this one on. Okay, so just match your two curved edges up on your tags. that. And then I am going to put a dimensional on either side of my ribbon, because it then also keeps my ribbon in place as well as holding the tag. So just set that down. And then just decide how far up or how far down you want this. It's entirely up to you. It's your project, you decide. Okay. I've just realised I forgot to clean up my paper off that side. Okay. Now I have already coloured in my flowers, because I'm sure you don't want to stand and watch me colour these in. And I used the light and dark Calypso coral blends. And I used light and dark Old Olive. Oh, I think I've just realised I forgot to do my shading on my little flower, little bud. So I'm just going to add a little bit to that. And then blend that in so it all matches. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on first. So a little bit of glue around the flower. Just going to stick it directly to that white tag. Just give it a wee minute to take. And then glue my flowers in, and just like your flower arranging. Okay, and then this one up in the top. I'm just doing it like for like from my sample. So I'm going to set that down in there. Let it sit. Again, I'm going to set my flowers. I'm actually just going to put the glue on the tag because it's easier then to position the flower. So it's there. And then the wee bud, I'll just drop him down in behind the tag. A little bit of glue just on the inside and place him in there. So that there all just needs to sit. So while that's drying, I'm going to show you a colouring in technique with the blends. I haven't really given much thought to blends. I've just kind of like bought them and thought, oh well, you know, I'm sure there is a technique of using them, but I have found this one quite effective on these. So I have lifted the light Crumb Cake, couldn't think of the name there. So I'm just going to go around the outside of this wee bird and down that wee bit in his chest and over there. And then I'm going to lift my light Petal Pink because I want to kind of give him like a pinky coloured belly. I'm going up there like that. I'm just going to leave, now normally I wouldn't leave these open like this because they do dry out quite quickly, but just because I'm working quite quick here. So I'm going to go around the edge with my dark Crumb Cake down there just to give him a wee bit of definition. Okay, and then we are going back in with our light Crumb Cake to blend out the dark, and then with our light Petal Pink just to make our belly a wee bit. So you can see that the colours just fade out to each other really, really pretty. So again, we'll do it with this one just so you can see it again. So light Crumb Cake around your edges, down that wee sketch bit on his tum. Your pale Petal Pink. Okay. Your dark Crumb Cake around the edges and anywhere where you want them to be really like darker. So really around there, you really want to kind of outline them. And then light Crumb Cake again, just to blend that in from the edges. Finish with that one, and then to finish off with your pale Petal Pink. So you can see it really does just give a real smooth transition of colours. Okay, so the last step then is to add this little design here to your card. Now you can add it anywhere you want. You can add it to the bottom corner. I kind of did mine at an angle so it looked like the branch was going up. I wouldn't layer this up on dimensional because it's going to make your card very bulky. So I personally would keep it down low and look like it's coming up from the corner. Like that. So it's like the branch. So again, as I was saying, if you are someone who really likes to write a significant amount on cards, You could then add an extra matte layer, but I'm just going to bring this up to the camera so you can see that colouring in. It really is quite pretty. I'll show you my sample because the colouring in, obviously it's still drying a wee bit. But I'll show you this one. You can see it is really, really pretty the way all the colours just merge in from one to the other. So it is a really quick and easy project. Well, easy I suppose whenever you know how. As I say, I think the girls channel is Stampin' Slingers, but I will hashtag her into the description on this. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you have fun having a go at it yourself, and send me a little like and a comment. That would be amazing. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.